Good day, students and viewers. You are welcome to the studios of MathsX. In our previous video, we were on calculations involving Venn diagrams, and in that class, we used a Cambridge question. In today's class, we will still continue with calculations involving Venn diagrams. And today we will be using a WAEC question because this particular body forms part of our niche. I want to say, my dear students and viewers, that this particular class will mark our final installment regarding our videos on sets. When it comes to sets from beginning to end, I believe that we've done some good justice. So if you really want to understand sets, check all our videos involving sets. I'm sure we would have put you through in terms of your understanding. Before we start our video today, I wish to say, my dear students and viewers, that if our classes are of value to you, you would do well to share our videos, like, and then of course ultimately subscribe. And also, if you wish to assist us, my dear students and viewers, you should check our description. We have some information there for you. Having said all this, my dear students and viewers, let us begin our class for today. All right, my dear students and viewers, for our second question and last question in today's class. This is a WAEC question, I believe 2018, yes, on sets. I found it very interesting because it will bring out some things in us. So the question goes to us: in a roadworthiness test on 240 cars, 60% passed. The number that failed had faults in clutch, brakes, and steerings as follows. Clutch only, 28. Clutch and steering, 14. Clutch, steering, and brakes, 8. Clutch and brakes, 20. Brakes and steering only, 6. The number of cars with faults in steerings only is twice the number of cars with faults in brakes only. Note that. Draw A, the Venn diagram to illustrate this information. Very important. This must be there. If it's not there, you can't solve. Then B, how many cars had I faulty brakes? II, only one fault. This question is beautiful. Very beautiful question and very thought-provoking. So for our solution, they said that in a roadworthiness test on 240 cars, 60 passed the test. So which means that the numbers we are considering here is the 40%. So let's get that 40% out, because that will mean our universal set as the number of cars involved in this set question. So 60% passed the test. Therefore, 40% failed. All right. Number that failed will be 40 over 100 times 240. So that's 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 6, that is 16, carry 1. 4 times 2 is 8 plus that one, 9. So 96 cars. Let's write it well, better. So 96 cars, all in all, failed this test. So all these prescriptions of clutches, brakes, and steerings are for these 96 cars that are involved with that have faults, all kinds of faults. And the next thing we should consider is drawing our Venn diagram. This question will be on the screen, my dear students and viewers, for us to go through, because I'll be constrained to clean this question. I can't help it, because I will need space to solve, my dear students and viewers. I'll be using my notes now. In a roadworthiness test of 240 cars, 60% passed. The number that failed had faults in clutches, brakes, and steerings as follows. So I'm going to put forward my Venn diagram right now. So my clutch for C, brakes, and steering. So it says here that clutch only was 28. So that's clutch only is 28. Clutch and steering is 14. Clutch, steering, and brakes is 8. All right. Clutch and brakes is 20. Brakes and steering only. Brakes and steering only is 6. Then, lastly, the number of cars with faults in steerings only is twice the number of cars with faults in brakes only. So, let number of cars with faults in brakes, the question said only, be X. Therefore, number with faults in steering only will be 2X. So let's put that up here. Brakes is X, steering is 2X. We should draw our Venn diagram. So that's our Venn diagram. I've put that up. That's the first thing. And it better be correct, because if anything goes south on the Venn diagram, you will be off. But before I go on, I need to say this. That's your Venn diagram, and make sure that the Venn diagram is correct, because if it is not, you are out of business completely. But before I go on, my dear students and viewers, I wish to make some modifications. Now, in number that had faults in brakes and steering, they put that word only. It means strictly. But for a number that had faults in clutches and brakes and clutch and steering, that only was not there. It means that this number that had faults in all of brakes, clutches, and steerings are included in this number that had faults in clutches and brakes and clutches and steerings. So we will do well to subtract. So we will say 8 minus 14 is 6, and of course 8 minus 20 is 12. So at this level we are ready to begin to solve. So this is my Venn diagram. So I've put forth the first part of the question, that you should put forth your Venn diagram. Then for the B part, this is the part that carries the calculations now. The B part says how many cars had faulty brakes. Now, to get the numbers of cars that had faulty brakes, we can easily pick that out. To be able to lay hands on the cars that had faulty brakes, we need to get what this X stands for. So here we are dealing with 96, right? So let us get what the X is, so we can now get numbers that had faulty brakes, because amongst the cars that had faulty brakes, some had faults in not just faulty brakes, they had faults in brakes, steerings, and clutches. Then some had faults in brakes and clutches, and then some had faults in brakes and steerings. So we need to get the holistic circle, the holistic subset of numbers that had faults in brakes. So but we need to get what this X is. So to achieve that, our total subset is 9. Our total universal set is 96. 96 plus 28 plus 12, that's here, plus 8, that's here, plus 6, that's here, plus another 6, that's here, then plus X plus 2X. So we begin to add. We have that 96 is equal to 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 plus 28 is 48. 48. 48 plus 12, again, that is 12 here. That's 6 plus 6. That's 60. So we have here 60 plus 3x, that is x plus 2x. All right, so I have here that 3x is equal to 96 minus 60. I'll take off this part of the board. So we have, my dear students and viewers, we have 3x equals to 36, so that x is equal to, so that x is equal to 12. So altogether, so if x is 12, so the number of the number that had faults in bricks alone, so therefore number with n bricks, as in, yeah, n bricks, number of cars that had problems with brakes, like they are asking, that will be 12 plus 12, as 12 plus 12 is 24 plus 14. So 24 plus 14, we have here 8, 38. So altogether, that is 12 plus 12 plus 8 plus 6. So 24 plus 14 is 38. So 38 cars altogether had faults in their brakes. Now, the next question they asked was the BII rather. The BII question was, how many cars had one fault? Now, for cars that had only one fault, that represents cars that had problems with their brakes, cars that had, with their clutches, cars that had problems with their brakes, cars that also have problems with their steering. That's one fault. Because if you come here, these are cars that had problems with brakes and steerings. These are cars that had problems with clutches and brakes. These are cars that have problems with clutches and steerings. Of course, the middle one here, that's 8. That one they had problems with clutches, brakes, and steerings. So the cars that had problems with had only one fault. So for number of cars with one fault, that will be equal to 28 plus 12. That is 28 here plus 12. This is 2x plus what? 24. So 28 plus 12, that is 40, plus 24, that is 64 cars altogether. So 64 cars had only one fault in this question. So my dear students and viewers, I hope you are seeing the way I'm moving in my solutions of this question. The first question we did, my dear, was a Cambridge question, I believe 2023, and this question is a WAEC question. This must be 2018. Yeah, I believe so. So you've seen how I moved. They talked about this issue of only. At every time there was that only sentence made on a particular subset, I was careful the way I handled it. Then the one that did not have, I also handled it in another way. The one that had only, there were no subtractions. The one that did not have, I had to subtract. So please do check my technique and how I'm going about these questions. I trust that you've been thoroughly enlightened on how to solve Venn diagram questions when it involves calculations. My dear students and viewers, we've come to the end of our class, and not just coming to the end of this class, we've come to the end of this topic called sets. I trust that all the videos have been a big enlightenment for you, my dear students and viewers. Until we meet again, we will come back with another topic that is going to enlighten you mathematically. I want to say that keep watching the videos of MathsX, like, share, and do not forget to subscribe. As you do so, God bless you. Thank you for your time.